All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. Forks at the ready, because today we are taking a deep dive into food festivals and how to talk about them in English.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for this one.
So I know that a lot of you out there are interested in leveling up your food festival vocabulary.
Yeah. Whether it's for travel or connecting with people or just expanding your vocabulary in general, food festivals are definitely the place to be.
For sure. And so we're going to be using this awesome podcast episode called How to Talk About Food Festivals in English from a language learning podcast to guide our deep dive today.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's unlock the secrets to talking about food festivals.
Yeah, so before we even jump into the vocabulary and phrases, can we just talk about why this is even important?
Yeah, for sure. I think mastering this specific vocabulary, it can be really beneficial, for a few reasons.
Yeah, like what?
Well, for starters, food festivals, they're increasingly global events,
Okay.
So English often becomes the common language for people to communicate there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it can be really helpful for networking, whether you're connecting with chefs or vendors or just other food enthusiasts.
So true.
And then also, if you're thinking about sharing your experiences on a blog or social media or even just with friends, being able to discuss these food festivals in English, it really opens up those opportunities.
Yeah, I could even see that being helpful if you're attending a workshop or a panel at a festival.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of those are conducted in English. So fluency is key.
Okay, I'm convinced. So let's get into the vocabulary. What are some of the essential words and phrases we need to know?
All right, let's start with the basics.
Okay, perfect.
What exactly is a food festival?
Yeah, what is it? Is it just like a fancy farmer's market?
It's more than that.
Okay.
So it's like this total celebration, dedicated to food and culinary arts.
Oh, wow.
You'll find tons of different flavors there, from regional specialties to international cuisines. And it's not just about buying ingredients. It's about tasting, learning, and really immersing yourself in the culture of food.
Ooh, okay, so what about vendor? That was another term that popped up a lot in the episode.
Yeah, vendors are key. They're the heart and soul of any food festival.
Okay, why?
Well, they're the ones who bring the deliciousness.
Okay. Okay.
It could be a local food truck serving up gourmet sliders, or a family-run bakery with their secret recipes, or even a celebrity chef offering samples.
So they're like the culinary rock stars of the festival.
Exactly, they are. And another important term to remember is tasting.
Oh, yeah, tasting.
Yeah, food festivals are all about exploration, and tastings let you sample small portions from a bunch of different vendors.
Small portions, you say?
Yeah, it's a great way to discover new favorites without committing to a whole meal.
Challenge accepted.
Now, to really expand your vocabulary, let's talk about cuisine.
Cuisine, okay.
This refers to a specific style of cooking, usually associated with a region or a culture.
Oh, interesting.
So you might find yourself trying everything from spicy Sichuan cuisine to delicate Japanese sushi all in one place.
At the same festival. Wow, that's really cool.
And sometimes you might encounter some unfamiliar terms, but don't worry.
Oh, no.
The episode gives a really good tip about using context clues.
Oh, context clues, like how?
So let's say you see a dish described as charred and smoky with hints of cumin and coriander.
Okay, I'm listening.
Even if you don't know all those terms, you can kind of paint a picture in your mind.
Yeah, okay.
You might imagine something cooked over an open flame with warm, earthy spices.
That makes a lot of sense.
So don't be afraid to use context clues to figure things out.
All right, so we've covered food festivals, vendors, tastings, cuisines, context clues. What else is there?
Well, how about we dive into some of the more experiential aspects of food festivals, like street food?
Ooh, yes, street food. I love street food.
Yeah, it's a huge part of food festival culture.
Okay.
It's casual, it's ready to eat, and it often captures the true essence of a culture's culinary heritage. And you can't talk about street food without mentioning food trucks.
Oh, yeah, food trucks.
They've played a huge role in popularizing street food by bringing those flavors to a wider audience.
That's so true.
And then there are live cooking demos.
Yes, those are always so fun to watch.
Exactly. You get to see a master chef create their signature dish right in front of you.
Yeah.
You can pick up on techniques, learn about new ingredients, and get a glimpse into their creative process.
It's like a backstage pass to the culinary world.
Exactly. And if you want to get even more hands-on, there are always workshops.
Workshops, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, those sound interesting. What kind of things do they teach?
It could be anything from mastering French pastry to learning how to pair wines with cheeses or even making pasta from scratch.
Oh, wow. So much to learn and experience at these food festivals.
Yeah, there really is a lot to see and do.
Okay, so now we have like a basic understanding of food festivals and some key vocabulary, but how do we actually use this in conversation? Like, what are some phrases we can use?
Yeah, let's dive into some phrases.
Perfect. I'm ready to take my food festival lingo to the next level.
All right, let's do it. So imagine you're at a festival and you try this dish that is just mind-blowing.
Okay.
How would you describe it to a friend who missed out?
Let me see. Okay. I tried the most amazing kimchi fries from this Korean food truck.
Oh, wow.
The fries were perfectly crispy and the kimchi was spicy and tangy.
Yeah.
It was like a total flavor explosion in my mouth.
I love it. You're making me hungry.
Now, let's say you meet someone at the festival who's a total newbie.
Okay. Yeah.
What tips would you give them to help them navigate the whole food festival scene?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like, what advice would you share?
I would definitely tell them to check out the festival map and schedule ahead of time.
Yeah, that's smart.
So they can prioritize the things they're interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, don't be afraid to try something new. That's what food festivals are all about.
So true.
Branch out, step outside your comfort zone.
Absolutely. And, a lot of these festivals go beyond just the food.
Yeah.
They have live music, cooking competitions, even art installations.
Yeah. Have you ever encountered any of those?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I remember going to a food festival in New Orleans, and they had this incredible jazz band playing. It just created such a vibrant atmosphere, and it totally complemented like the soulful food that they were serving.
That sounds amazing.
It was like a whole other dimension to the experience.
That's so cool how they blend everything together.
Yeah, for sure. But sometimes at these festivals, I felt a little bit lost for words.
Oh, really? How so?
Like there's all these culinary terms that I'm not familiar with and I'm too embarrassed to ask what they mean.
I totally get it. It can be intimidating.
Like I remember once I was at a festival in San Francisco and I overheard someone talking about sous vide cooking.
Oh, yeah.
I had no clue what that meant, but I was too shy to ask.
Well, I think most people at food festivals are pretty passionate about food,
Yeah, true.
And they love to share their knowledge.
Okay.
So don't hesitate to ask for clarifications.
Okay, so what could I say?
You could say something like, "Excuse me, I overheard you mention sous vide. I'm not really familiar with that technique. Could you tell me a little bit more about it?"
Oh, yeah. That's much better than just pretending to know what they're talking about.
Exactly. It's all about learning and engaging with others who share your love of food.
Yeah, totally. And, it makes me think about the role of food festivals in promoting culture.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Like, do you think that can serve as a bridge between different cultures?
I definitely think so. Food is such a huge part of every culture.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a way to connect with a community's history, traditions, and values.
That's so true.
So when you go to a festival that showcases all these diverse cuisines, it's like taking a culinary journey around the world.
Right. You're not just tasting the food, you're experiencing a piece of another culture.
Exactly. It's like cultural immersion through food.
I love that. Okay, but let's be real here. How do you even decide which vendor to try next when there are so many delicious options?
Oh, man. That's the ultimate food festival dilemma.
Right.
I usually start by just kind of scoping out the scene. Are there any super long lines?
Yeah, like that must be a good sign, right?
Yeah, that's usually a good indicator of a popular vendor.
Okay, what else?
I might check for online reviews if I have time.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
But sometimes you just got to go with your gut,
Yeah, let your senses guide you.
Exactly. Trust your instincts and be open to surprises.
I like it. And remember, there's more to explore than just the food.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The atmosphere, the music, the people,
Yeah, it all adds up to this unique experience.
It's like a total sensory overload, but in a good way.
Absolutely. It's all part of the fun.
And talking about food festivals in English, it's not just about the food itself.
Yeah. Right.
It's about capturing the entire atmosphere and that cultural immersion,
You got it. It's about the whole experience.
So before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on something that was mentioned in the episode.
Okay.
It's about food festivals as a platform for promoting sustainability and ethical food practices.
Oh, yeah. That's super important.
What are your thoughts on that? It's definitely something to think about,
Yeah, it's like food festivals are becoming more than just a celebration of food.
Right.
They're also a platform for raising awareness about these important issues within the food system.
Totally. And it makes sense. I mean, food connects us all.
Exactly.
So it's a perfect opportunity to learn about how our choices, impact the environment and the people who produce our food.
It's like a win-win.
For sure, this deep dive has given me a whole new perspective on food festivals.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's not just about indulging, but it's also about making informed choices.
Right, and you can have these conversations in English.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like, imagine talking to a vendor about farm-to-table dining or asking about their efforts to reduce food waste.
I feel so much more prepared to have those conversations now.
That's the goal.
I can't wait to go to my next food festival with this new awareness.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's amazing how language can open up so many doors.
It really is. It's like a key to a whole new world.
And when it comes to food, the possibilities are endless.
This deep dive has been so insightful.
I agree.
I feel like I can not only navigate food festivals, but I can also engage in these really interesting conversations about the culture, the sustainability, all those different aspects.
And this is just the beginning. The more you explore different cuisines and talk to people and immerse yourself in the world of food, your vocabulary and confidence will just keep growing.
That's exciting.
It is so, to all our listeners out there,
yes,
we encourage you to embrace the joy of food festivals. Savor the flavors, engage in conversations, and really explore what food has to offer.
And remember, you now have the tools to do all of that in English.
You got this.
That's right. So go out there, fellow food lovers, and may your culinary adventures be filled with delicious discoveries and amazing conversations.
Until next time.
Keep those taste buds tingling.